Hi everyone, today I'm going to be doing another seamless pattern video, and in this one I'm going to work on a request that I got in. Someone wanted me to show how to do stripes, and it's really easy. So I'm again working on my 6x6 artboard. So we are going to make a rectangle that is 6 inches wide by 1 inch high, and there is that one, and we're just going to color it in. Since it's almost Valentine's Day, that's the next holiday. Let's do some Valentine's Day stripes. So I just made a rectangle, and now I'm going to center it. I really like to center it by using these buttons over here. So I'm going to push it to the top. And now what I'm going to do is just select it and copy it, and then paste another one. For this one, I'm going to do a different pink, and I'm going to line it up with that. Now you'll notice that it has a black outline, so when you go over here to stroke, just make sure that you put none. So for everything that you're making, make sure that the stroke is none, but that's just a little tip so there is no outline for it. Now I'm going to just very simply copy and paste. Now you can make your lines as thick or as thin as you want them, but I just decided to do 1 inch lines for this example. But again, it's very simple, and you just want to make sure that everything is intersecting so there is no gaps. Oops, that's the wrong one. Hopefully you can see what I'm trying to do though. And we're going to push that one to the bottom. So this is just a very simple way to make stripes, and again, you can make these as small as you want. As wide or as thin as you want, thick, thin, whatever you want. And now I'm just trying to make sure that there are no gaps. If you zoom in, you can see that there's a little gap right here, so I'm trying to intersect them. Once you see the intersect button, the intersect word, I should say, then you are good to go. I think this pattern is good. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not seeing any more. Oh wait, there's one. I was gonna say I'm not seeing any more white space, but there was one. So that is just a very simple way to make your stripes. So hopefully that helps out whoever requested it. But now I'm going to work on a different pattern for you all. Today we are going to be making, let me see. I got this clip art, so I'm going to copy this from here over to my artboard. Whoa, it's huge. I'm going to resize it. You can always just resize it over here in properties. Oh, I also wanted to mention, if you see anything here that you don't have, for example, like if you don't have the layers feature, you just go over here to window, and you can select all the different ones that you want to see. You can see all the ones that I have selected, and then you can just drag and drop them over here. Okay, so I really liked this bird here, so I'm just going to work on that, and then I'm going to take my other elements elsewhere. So sometimes I don't do a background and I just go for it and do the what's it called? The elements by themselves. Sorry, I just want to get rid of that little thing. Ignore what I'm doing right here. There was just a little something there. So since I really like this bird, let me actually zoom in so y'all can see how beautiful it is. Again, I'm working with free commercial clip art. So what I'm going to do for this pattern is kind of offset the bird a little over here. And I'm going to copy paste. I want this pattern to not be directional, meaning that whenever it's printed, there isn't just one side that can be used. You know what I mean? Like, you can cut it out. Since this is for fabric, you can cut it out in any direction and it'll work. So I'm going to just do a couple of copy and pasting of this bird and just do some random little angles just to get it So here's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of twisting him around, doing whatever with this bird. That sounds weird. Okay. And then just playing around with it, kind of. A lot of this is just, as I mentioned in, I think my first bit I said, it's just trial and error, you know. Just trying to get the shapes down to how you want them to look and whatnot. So here we have 4 birds, and I'm already noticing that I kind of want them all to be a little smaller, so I'm just going to select all of them. You can always select all of them and make them smaller. So then again, I'm going to offset it a little bit. I prefer to offset it to one side of the square, but you can really do both or however many sides you want. For example, this bird, I'm going to put him over here. You can kind of see like it's coming together. Now I'm going to fill in a little bit more over here. So what I really like to do is just get one one element down to where I like it, and then we can fill in the rest of the space, if that makes sense. So there, now I'm going to take this one that is off to the side, I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift-M, or you can go over to Object and Move, and we're going to move it to the other direction so that we can start working on making this seamless. I would watch my first video if this is a little confusing to you, like this part that I'm doing right now, just so y'all know what I'm doing. Okay. And then this bird is, since he's hanging off on that top side, I'm also going to move him down vertically 6 inches. You always want to move it the size of your artboard so that when it meets up and it turns into a tile, it works out perfectly. Okay. Okay, I kind of want this bird to hang off a little bit too. So we're going to see, maybe not. Okay. So there is the pattern so far, and now I'm going to fill it with these other elements here. I want them to be a little smaller though. Not too much smaller, but just a little smaller. And then I'm going to start filling in the spaces with them. I like to work with the bigger one first. And again, I'm just copying, pasting, and then rotating so that I can fill in these spaces over here. Copying, pasting, rotating. That is how we do. Okay, copy and pasting again. And with the stuff that you're using to fill in, you also want to kind of offset it a little bit so I'm going to offset that one and just go ahead and move it just so I know what it's looking like. Copy it down there so you can see this one that is hanging off. I actually want to move it a little more. And we can move that one a little more. And this one, since the head is, you know, shifting over here, we actually have to move this guy up. So you do negative to move it upwards. Okay, there we go. And then I think we might have room for one more of these leaves, so let's go for it. Sorry this video is a little more boring, but I really wanted to show you all how to do the more, I don't want to say intricate designs, but this one is a little more out there as far as how time consuming it is and everything like that. Okay, so that's not gonna work. What if we did it over here? So I knew it wasn't gonna work because it was gonna meet up with, if I were to move it to the other side, it wasn't gonna fit in there. So trying to get this leaf. Now we're gonna copy it over to the other side. Again, we're doing -6. And you can see that it went over this bird. So now I'm going to rotate this guy a little bit, just to make sure that we're fitting everything. Still kind of touching, so sometimes you can like just reverse it there. That works perfectly. Okay, there. Just so everything still fits in there. And now I'm going to work on adding these flowers, the floral element. And we're going to rotate this guy. This one definitely will fit here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. I like to just copy them as I go so I'm not forgetting to do so. And this flower is gonna really fill in the rest of the gaps. So that's why I like to do my bigger ones first, just so it's easier to fit everything in. Oops, I actually sent this flower all the way over here. Let's not do that. We're supposed to set it down. Sometimes I forget, but if we're going down, we don't need it to be negative. My bad. Okay. And then I still feel like this one's awkward. Let's see if I move it down this way. Yeah, and then we can fit another flower here. Sometimes you can just have everything overlapping if you want, but that's not the style I'm really going for, so I'm trying to really push everything in so that it fits, if you know what I mean. But yeah, sometimes I don't like where I put stuff, so I'm just like, have to move something else around, you know, whatnot. Like for some reason I feel like this is a big white space over here. So I'm going to move this one over and see if it fits on the other side. And let's check it out. Okay, yep, that's perfect. So I'm just gonna move this one down a little more. And that way there isn't such a big white space. Okay, so now I like everything how it's looking. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my background now. So for the background, we want it to be the exact same size. And we want to move it to the back. So I learned you can do Control Shift and the bracket sign. And of course you'll want to align it. That looks good. And now I'm going to play around with the color. I've been really liking, ooh, that one looks good. I've been really liking muted colors like that one, and you know, the tans, the pastels, that sort of color scheme. Let's see. For backgrounds, I just really want something that's not going to compete with everything else, you know. That one actually looks pretty good. But it just depends, you know, what you want as far as a background. Let's see. I really like going off these color schemes because sometimes there's colors that I wouldn't ever think of trying. So then this kind of opens it up for y'all. Okay, let me see. I forgot which one I really liked. One of these, I think. Yeah, I like this one. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to make this look a little more retro, a little more muted, if you will. So I'm going to hit Control A, or if you're on a Windows, you would select all. I don't know if there's a select all button. I mean, if you're on Windows, you can just zoom out and then select everything, but I'm just going to hit Control A. You can do Command A as well. And I'm also going to make sure I'm not selecting the layer that's the rectangle. So I'm going to hit Shift and deselect the rectangle. Oops, I should have done this beforehand. So Don't be like me, but what I should have done is I should have embedded all of these, but let me see. I don't see the embed button. Hold on, everybody, while I try and figure this out. Okay. I guess I should be able to recolor everything. Let's see if we can. So normally what I do is I go edit colors, adjust color balance, and I bring everything down. So all these, I bring them down. Sorry, my computer is really slow because I added a whole bunch of clip art and everything like that. And I can't really tell what is going on with the colors, so that kind of sucks. Let's just hit OK and see what happens. Again, sorry, my computer is really slow because of all the clip art. Okay, come on, let's go, let's go. Okay, now I'm going to select out just to see how it looks. See, that was too much, like that's way too muted, so let's undo that, Control Z. And I'm going to again select everything, and this time I'm not going to select the background, so you just go Shift and click on the background. But again, let's go to Edit Colors. Oops, Edit Colors. This time I'm just going to go like -10 on everything, because apparently -30, which is what I usually do, was way too much. Could even hit the preview just to see what it looks like. Okay, let's go OK. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm going to show you how I make it all look retro. So I'm going to select everything. Again, Control A, and then deselect the rectangle. So press Shift as I click on that rectangle. And then we are going to go to Transparency, Make Mask. And then you're going to click on the black box. I don't know why that happened. That's weird. Okay. And then we are going to go to Place. And I'm going to leave a link to these down below, but you just go to Place, and then you go and pick a texture. I really like this one. And then I just like to hit on this corner. And you can kind of just move it around so that everything looks retro-ish. I don't know if you can tell. I'll zoom in right now, but everything is getting like washed and worn, if you will. And then I just click on back on the white box here to be done. And now, like I said, I'm going to zoom in so you can see it more. See how everything got like a little vintage look to it, a little retro-ish, you know, if you feel me. I feel like the background's getting lost now, though. I mean, it's clashing with everything, so I'm going to change the background by just clicking on it and recoloring it. So let's go back to our color guide. Ooh, yeah, see, something like that, just so like everything pops out more. I'm in the business of misery. Ooh, yeah, I'm really feeling this. I might even make the birds less magenta. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, anyways, I feel like this video is getting way too long. I'm just supposed to be showing y'all how to do this, not trying to... I mean, making these does take a while, but I shouldn't be spending like 30 minutes here. Okay, so we're going to make a box. You didn't see my previous video. You just make a rectangle the same size as your artboard. Center it all. Hit Control A and then Control 7. Or select everything and then go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. Okay, Control A, Control 7. And there is our beautiful seamless file. Now we're going to export as. I like to do JPEG And I'm just gonna put it, let's see, let's do birdies. Not biddies, birdies. Okay, and I'm going to put it in my seamless. Export. Okay, oops, I forgot to show you, but you should be able to save it in just the high quality settings. Now we're going to head on over to customizable. Now we're going to head on over to this website. I'm going to link it down below so you can check if it's seamless and just in general check what our pattern looks like. We did the birdies one. I have permission. Look at how beautiful this came out. Oh my gosh, I am obsessed. Bro, this is magical. If I do say so myself. Sorry, I'm getting so excited. Fudge, yeah, fudge, yeah. Okay. It's beautiful, it's perfect. I have no adjustments to make. So, there you go, y'all. That is how to make a seamless pattern. I think this will be my last and final video. Honestly, just because I have no other tips to give you, like I gave them all to you. This is it. This is all my knowledge poured out into 3 videos. So hopefully this helps you out, and catch you in my next video, which will most likely be about sewing or small shops or something in that realm. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. And if you have any further questions, do let me know. Ciao.